class, I would be covering on scope of equine husbandry in India, equine population dynamics, types and classes in equines, breeds of economic importance. Okay. So equine belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Perissodactyla. Okay. Perissodactyla means single-hoofed animal. So under this order, they belong to family Equidae. Under Equidae, we have different genus, but we are concerned with only equus. Under equus, we have three species: horses, asses, and zebra. Again, zebra we are not concerned about in this course. We will be concentrating only on horses and asses. Okay. So here there are two species: Equus caballus and Equus asinus. So Equus caballus means mainly horse, which are indicated by larger mane and tail, larger hooves, more arched neck, smaller head, and shorter ears. Contrary to this, Equus asinus has a short and erected mane, smaller hooves, straight neck, larger head compared to body and legs, okay, and larger ears, which you already know or studied in your UG classes. So let us come to the actual topic. These equine includes modern horses, zebras, and asses. As I told you in the previously, horse belongs to Equus caballus species and donkey belong to Equus asinus. The moment if you use the word donkey, you must make it very clear, or you should understand here itself that what exactly difference between donkey and ass. Okay. Ass is nothing but a wild donkey or ancestor of donkey. Means in true sense, what we call an ass is not a domestic animal. So that's why while reading the course wildlife, you must have seen wild ass, which are found in the run of Kutch. Okay. They are the wild status, but donkey means they are the domesticated. So you should not use very haphazardly, but by and large, everyone will understand the moment if you use as, it they mean they're donkey only. Okay. Further, when you use the word horse, again you must understand what exactly difference between ponies. Ponies are nothing but a short horses. देखने में एक ही जैसा है, सिर्फ हाइट की वजह से हम लोग ponies कहते हैं. Those horses which are lesser than the 12 ants, we call them as a ponies. Sometimes even the horse which almost like to the height of 12 ants, they look like a horse. आपको देखने में हॉर्स दिखेगा, but technically or in true sense, if you go with the height of the horse, they may be put under the category of ponies. But हम लोग आमतौर से देखते हैं ponies mostly they are छोटा है, means less than 10 ants. Ponies means here horse. This must be very clear. Okay. But जो ponies होता है, we never use for the riding purpose. Ponies are mainly used as a pack animal. Height कम होने के कारण they are mostly used as a pack animal. Pack animal means those animals which are used to carry the luggage on the back of the horse, which we call them as a pack animal. It can be a buffaloes, it can be horse, or it can be donkey, for that matter, camel, elephant, whatever. Those animals which carry weight on their back, we call them as a pack animal. Here, ponies means pack animals. So even you must have heard about in the military also, क्योंकि उनको पोनिस चाहिए, बट जो राइडिंग हॉर्सेस होता है, ऐसा रेस क्लब में होता है, ब्रीडिंग फार्म, स्टड फार्म जो कहते हैं, जहां हॉर्सेस को रेस पर्पस के लिए ब्रीड किया जा सकता है, वहां आफ्टर मेजरिंग द हाइट, आफ्टर फुल मेच्योरिटी, if they found lesser than this, they justly remove from their stock because they don't want. Okay, they are nothing but ponies. When it comes to donkeys, again two types: mules and hinny. Mule means cross of mare and jock, hinny vice versa. Hinny is not so popular. Mule is so popular because you are exploring the quality of mare more than the jock, which is more useful in the field condition. That's why mules are more common than the hinny. What are the common terms used in this course? Stallion. a mature male horse that can reproduce, or even that age is more than 3.5 years old. Male, a mature female which is ready to produce and age is more than 4 years. Foal, a younger horse of either gender that is still with its mother. Foal में क्या होगा? Either of the sex, as long as it remains with the mother or not weaning is done, we call it as a foal. Mostly less than, what you can say, 6 months. Okay. Filly means young female horse under 4 years. 4 years के बाद automatically they become either stallion or male. Okay. Colt means a young male horse under the 4 years. Yearling, a horse that is officially 1 year old. Gelding, it's a castrated male. A pony, already I told you, less than 14 ants. Next comes population dynamics. So if you see the latest census, that is 2019, the population is 3.4 lakhs horse population or horse and ponies population, which has decreased by 45.6% compared to previous census, okay, which was done in 2012. Okay. Similarly, if you take mule, again, they have been reduced to 57.1% compared to previous census. And if you take donkey as it is 1.2 lakhs in 2009, again decreased by 61%. To conclude, if you see the table on the bottom, the population has reduced by almost 46% in case of horse and ponies. In case of donkeys, it is 61%. In case of mule, it is 57%. Though data is not encouraging in true sense, means आमतौर से अदर स्पीसीज में कंपेयर करेंगे तो बारिंग पिग रेस्ट ऑफ पॉपुलेशन में स्पीसीज में पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जा रहा है, बट पिग एंड एज वेल एज equine population is coming down. Okay. Now, if you see the population of horse, mules and together, okay, जो चीज अभी हमने डिस्कस किया वही चीज है. So that is 0.55 million, which has reduced by 51.9% over the previous livestock census. Overall means तीनों मिला के कंपेयर करेंगे, that decrement is by 52% nearly compared to previous census. So now this population, what you see, okay, 98% of the equine is with the poor people. Only 2% you see in the elite category, that is used for the race purpose. Okay. जो 98% है, where they contribute? They contribute to the employment and income of the poor farmers and landless laborers under the unorganized sector who primarily depend on livestock. Another 2% of the equine is found in the organized sector, mostly owned by the elite sections and also used in the sports, military and paramilitary forces. State-wise population. Okay. पहले state-wise population with respect to only horse and ponies. ठीक है. So in Uttar Pradesh it is highest, but again in the latest census it has decreased. In almost all the states it has decreased, but if you see the population statistics, it is still highest in UP, followed by J&K, then Rajasthan and Bihar, and almost at par in other states. Okay. So if you see horse and ponies, you may not see in the other states like Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, because there what you see, that population is mule population, okay, not the horse population. Okay. So now if you see the mule population, now you will see, you don't see other states. In Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, J&K, UP and MP. Okay. So these are the leading state with respect to mule population. Here population decrement, though it is found here also, but in some of the typical hilly states, the population still remains same. If you see Uttaranchal, Himachal Pradesh, including J&K, In the hilly region, if you compare, that population is constant. Okay, where there is no roads or mechanization, or where you still the possibility of having a vehicle, or you can say motorable system, okay, is compromised or not possible, still that mule population is contributing to a greater extent in the hilly state of these states. Okay. Next, role of equines. Now, two topics we covered. One is what introduction about the equine, and followed by population dynamics. Next, what is the role of equines in India? Though that population is coming down, still they are trying to contribute wherever it is possible. So let us see one by one. Transportation. In many parts of the northern India, especially western UP, these mules, horse and ponies are being used for the transporting the children to schools, passengers from village to main road and highways. And these horse owners earn their livelihood through this transportation, okay, which are used for the human beings. Okay. But transportation as a pack animal. See, one is transportation as a pack animal and also pulling the tanga. Both are possible. When you say pulling the vehicle like this tanga, so either it can be baggage or it can be human population. But as a pack animal, these are seen in the brick kiln, jahan ईट बनता है, construction sites, construction multi-story building, sale of vegetables, मिल्क ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, ओके, जहां ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है. अभी भी आप देखा जाएगा तो आपको कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट में यही मिलेगा, बिकॉज वहां व्हीकल ऊपर तक ईट ले जाने में दिक्कत होगा. इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन है, मैकेनाइजेशन है, वहां तो दे यूज सम टाइप ऑफ हाइड्रोलिक सिस्टम, बट जहां नहीं है, सो इनसाइड द बिल्डिंग्स वो यही म्यूल्स दे क्लाइम एंड दे गो. Okay, because they are sure-footed animals, they are able to climb even in the steep hills. At pilgrim places, you all already experienced, or those who have visited, okay, particularly in the Kashmir Valley, okay, to carry tourists, particularly Gulmarg, Pahalgam, Sonmarg, okay, and also in Amarnath Yatra, Vaishnavi Devi, to carry luggage as well as pilgrims, and even some of the places where there is no tourist place also, but for another purpose, they are being used to carry luggage as well as human being. Role of horse in safaris. This is more common, or recently this has taken up a tourist entertainment, okay, and this was introduced by this Marwari Group Equine Breeders Association, actually, just to sustain these breed owners. ठीक है, उनको कुछ कमाई हो जाएगा, उससे वो लोग ब्रीडिंग करते रहेंगे ताकि उसका अर्निंग होता रहेगा. तो उस कंटेस्ट में वेर एवर दीज नेशनल पार्क सेंचुरीज आर देयर, सो दे हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड दीज टाइप ऑफ सफारीज वेयर दे ऑर्गेनाइज a type of short treks or walking trails, okay, to carry these mostly Americans or Europeans, because they enjoy this type of trailing. Equestrian events, as I told in the beginning, out of the population which is available in India, 98% is with the poor people, but 2% what we see that's owned by the elite people or elite society, and mostly they are used for the race purpose. Okay. When you say race purpose, it's one of the equestrian events or sports. ठीक, वो भी एक event है, एक game है. Otherwise उसके अलावा there are n number of events are there to show off their horses, okay, like endurance riding, show jumping, tent pegging, polo and horse racing. ये हम last class में discuss भी करेंगे, equestrian sports जब discuss करेंगे, okay. But these animals are also being used. जहाँ racing होता है वहाँ betting भी होता है. It's accepted gambling से this one program by government of India. ठीक है, जहाँ जहाँ racing होता है generally betting हो जाता है. Some people also engaged in the feeding, watering, exercise, grooming, foot care, farriery as a jockey and as a general manager. What you mean to say that जहाँ equestrian events में use हो जाता है, इतना लोग इसमें involve हो जाता है, because these are costly horses. एक horse may be worth of 50 lakh, 70 lakh, even sometimes to the price goes up to 1 crore. ठीक है, जहाँ रेस horses होते हैं, प्रीमियम horses होते हैं, एक horse के साथ एक exclusively dedicated foot care होता है, एक जाकी होता है, एक फेरियर होता है, एक जनरल मैनेजर होता है, एक केयर टेकर होता है. इतना लोग तो स्ट्रेट अवे इन्वॉल्व विथ ईच एंड एवरी आर्स. They don't do the same activity for other horses. Maybe for the same owner, if he is maintaining more than one, if they may do it, but Thereby, it create an employment generation among the what you can say this equestrian events. Next, patrolling. Still, it is very, very important, particularly to disperse the mob, because whenever you use the vehicle for the disbursement, generally there is a possibility of throwing stones, possibility of putting a fire. There is a less possibility of going inside the smaller roads. They may block it. Okay. So in such circumstances, generally they use these horses for the patrolling purpose, either by the police department, BSF, or paramilitary forces. Okay. And समटाइम्स दे आर ऑल्सो यूजिंग एज ए स्टेटस सिंबल. कुछ फंक्शन में क्या होता है, पराडिंग के लिए जैसे राष्ट्रपति भवन में यूज हो जाता है, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में यूज हो जाता है, इंडिपेंडेंस डे के दिन, रिपब्लिक डे के दिन पराडिंग करते हैं. So it gives a different look altogether to show off their asses or their strength to the public. Okay, so in this way it also generates an employment among the different sections. Okay, जैसे अगर हार्स होगा तो सिर्फ पुलिस ही राइड नहीं करेंगे, तो जब हार्स को रख रखाव करने के लिए एक आदमी तो चाहिए, शूइंग के लिए फेरियर चाहिए. So thereby employment is created. Okay, riding school, now this has become in almost all metropolises, it has become very fashion event. Okay, अभी पहले क्या होता था कि हमारा स्कूल आईसीएसई रिकॉग्नाइज्ड है, कोई कहता था कि हमारा इंग्लिश मीडियम है, कोई कहता रेसिडेंशियल है, कोई कहता है हमारे पास स्विमिंग पूल है. बट नाउ इट हैज बिकम ए फैशन टू स्टेट दैट आवर स्कूल हैज गॉट इनबिल्ट राइडिंग, हॉर्स राइडिंग फैसिलिटी. ठीक है, बहुत सारे schools, though they on their own they may not maintain, but they may make some type of collaboration agreement with a riding clubs. Okay, this is very common in almost all metropolitan cities, including Bangalore. So now even people out of interest also they go for horse riding in the weekends or in the weekdays, either in the morning or evening, as a type of relaxation. Okay, so that as a animal. Okay, as an animal, but as a product or a produce, like the moment you say sheep, it's milk and meat and wool. The moment we say cattle, it's a milk and draught purpose. Similarly here, in addition to transportation and draught purpose, here milk is also one of the produce. And this milk, although it's not so common among us, but if you go to a place where these populations are predominant and these what you can say human race, where they're been evolved through this species, they are purely depend on this milk product, particularly if you go to Tibetan area, Turkey. So these places using milk for different purpose, either in the form of preparation of kumis, which is one of the known product. Okay, and also for the routine milk as a milk whitener. Okay, so and also in some countries this is almost a type of a replacement as a good milk to replace the cow milk. Okay, though I have not used the word horse as a meat, but in some of the countries still it is being used as a meat animal, but not solely rearing the horse as a meat. As the culled animals, when they kill it, so they use it as a meat, but in most of the countries it's not commonly consumed. Okay, now scope of equine husbandry in India. एक तरफ हमने बोल दिया कि इसका इतना इंपॉर्टेंस है, एक तरफ भी ये भी बोल रहे कि पॉपुलेशन डायनामिक्स, इफ यू सी इन 2012 एंड 2019 द पॉपुलेशन इज कमिंग डाउन. क्या हमारे लिए स्टिल स्कोप है? ये एक टॉपिक है, स्कोप ऑफ इक्वाइन हस्बेंड्री इन इंडिया. व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ दिस इक्वाइन हस्बेंड्री इन इंडिया? The use of equine for the draught purpose has a special economic significance in difficulty hilly terrains, arid and semi-arid zones where motorable roads are inadequate. Mules are draught animal for the transporting the agriculture commodities and household goods in the states where agriculture and horticulture produces affluent requiring transport from point of production to the point of sale and consumption. ठीक है, कुछ states होता है, जैसे उत्तरांचल होता है, इवन नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट में हो सकता है, मिजोरम हो सकता है, सिक्किम हो सकता है, बिकॉज जहां वो ऑर्गेनिक स्टेट डिफाइन किए गए वहां तो encouragement of too much of motorable roads, introduction of too much of mechanization to avoid that pollution. Okay, they may avoid also. So in order to maintain their organic status, probably they may try to use the animal for the transportation as well as a organic manure. ठीक है, उनके पास दो एडवांटेज मिलेगा. एक तो नीचे से ऊपर तक या ऊपर से नीचे तक अगर कोई भी प्रोड्यूस लाना है, तो इफ दे ट्राई टू यूज either yak or mithun. Similarly, mules, if they would use, that will give organic manure as well as the help in the transportation of these fresh agriculture produce to the needy people. Okay. And indigenous horses like Marwadi, Kathiawadi, Manipuri have been utilized for the equestrian events, polo and ceremonial events. जब ceremonial events आता है तो इवन इन सिटीज में भी आज भी एक ट्रेंड है, ठीक है, कितना भी आप मॉडर्नाइजेशन में हो जाएंगे फिर भी यूज ऑफ दीज important indigenous breeds in the ceremonial events, particularly in the marriage, has become a type of fashion. So there will be still demand even in the future, either as a ceremonial activities or as a equestrian sports like polo, okay, which is still popular in case of Manipur. Okay. So the improvement of equine production has a great potential and significance for affecting the economic status of the poorest of poor rural and semi-urban areas. So in spite of mechanized transport and unfavorable circumstances, the use of mule for draught and thoroughbred and other horses for sports, tracking and racing has increased considerably. थोड़ा सा पॉपुलेशन रहेगा बट उसका इंपॉर्टेंस कभी नहीं जाएगा, कहीं ना कहीं उसका जरूरत पड़ेगा. तो नाउ विद दिस वी हैव कवर्ड वन मोर टॉपिक, so that is importance of equine husbandry and scope of equine husbandry. Okay. So now let us see quickly the breeds of economic importance. Okay. So as of now, when you say breed, they should be registered. पहले क्या होता था, बहुत सारे अलग अलग नाम से हम लोग यूज करते थे, बट जब तक वो रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होता तब तक हम एज ए scientist or as a student or as a I can say that community, scientific community or educated community, we don't consider as a breed unless you register. Okay. तो ये ऐसे पॉपुलेशन ऐसे सिचुएशन में नाउ 7 breeds have been registered. इसका मतलब ये नहीं था कि स्पीटी नहीं था, जंस्करी नहीं था, कच्ची सिंधी नहीं था, करके पहले भी था, बट नाउ ऑफिशियली दे हैव बीन रजिस्टर्ड, ओके, इन द NBEGRI Karnal. So if you get a question in the exam, I am also confused what you can say, give the exact number. So as of now, NBEGRI 7 breeds have been registered: Bhutia, Kathiawadi, Manipuri, Marwadi, Spiti, Zanskari, and Kachchi Sindhi. Okay. However, FAA has recognized 3 more breeds: Chumarti, Deccani, and Sikang. Okay. So which is not yet registered in the NBEGRI. So let us see one by one. Okay. बूटिया, बूटिया तो सब लोग जानते हैं, एक कम्युनिटी भी है, एक ह्यूमन रेस भी है. उसी एरिया में जो भी आपको पॉपुलेशन मिलेगा, दैट इज नथिंग बट बूटिया. Whether it's a human race or equine race, they are shorter. Simple. Okay. So they are found in Sikkim and also the Darjeeling region of the northern India, Darjeeling which belong to West Bengal. Okay. ये दोनों एरिया में आपको मिलेगा. It has a deep chest, short legs, low withers, लार्जर हेड एंड स्ट्रेट बैक. ठीक है. ये हॉर्स भी है बट दिखने में आपको डांकी जैसे दिखेगा, बिकॉज देखिए डांकी का कैरेक्टर सारे हैं: शॉर्ट लेग्स, लो विदर्स मतलब हाइट कम है, लार्ज हेड, स्ट्रेट बैक एंड डीप चेस्ट, जो डांकी का टिपिकल कैरेक्टर्स. ओनली थिंग इज डांकी में इरेक्टेड मेन मिलेगा, इसमें नहीं है, अदरवाइज आपका सारे कैरेक्टर्स है. दिस ब्रीड्स टिपिकली स्टैंड्स बिटवीन 12.3 एंड 14.3. Highest is 14.3. Okay. And the color is either gray or bay in color. Colors का भी एक क्लास है, वो भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. बट ग्रे, the what you see in the photograph, that color is called bay. ठीक है, जो आपको दिख रहा है, that's a bay in color. Okay. This booty is primarily used as a work horse carrying load of crops, people from town to town. Next is Kathiawadi, originating in Kathiawad Peninsula of Western India, available in every color except black. Okay. It stands between 14.2 to 15.5 ends and typically as a zebra, stripped legs and dorsal strips. ठीक है, यहाँ बूटिया पोनी है. So that's why its height is between 12.3 to 14.3. यहाँ का मिनिमम हाइट 14.2 एंड अबव 15 inches. इट मींस दैट इट इज बिलोंग टू हॉर्स. ठीक है. दिस इज वन. इट इज अवेलेबल इन एक्सेप्ट एवरी कलर्स एक्सेप्ट ब्लैक. ठीक है. एंड अनदर एडिशनल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ दिस हॉर्स इज इट हैज ए ज़ेब्रा स्ट्रिप्ड लेग्स एंड डॉर्सल स्ट्रिपिंग। सो जो भी इस फोटोग्राफ में नहीं दिख रहा होगा, बट यू विल सी इन ट्रू सेंस काठियावाड़ी में वो दोनों आपको दिखेगा। सो टुडे दिस ब्रीड इज यूजिंग फॉर राइडिंग, sports, and also tent pegging event. Okay, and it's known as for loyal, brave, and resilient. मारवाड़ी, क्योंकि ये दो ब्रीड आपका जो टॉप ब्रीड में आता है इंडिया में, सो दोनों को आपको थोड़ा सा डिफरेंशिएट करना पड़ेगा। दिस मारवाड़ी originated in northwestern India. It can be traced back in 7 Arabian horses shipwrecked in Marwar, which became the fundamental bloodstock of this breed. Means इसका origin का अगर आप बात करेंगे तो the known characteristic of Marwadi is inward curving ears that can rotate 180 degree, arched neck, deep chest, and it stands 15.2 inches high and is available in all equine colors. ठीक है, तो आपको व्हाइट भी मिलेगा, यहाँ ब्लैक भी मिलेगा, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ जो दिख रहा है आपको ये भी मिलेगा आपको, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू काठियावाड़ी यू डोंट सी द ब्लैक कलर। ठीक है, and also additionally you will see their strips on the neck as well as leg. Here the rotating ears is the unique characteristic. Here they are also known for their bravery and loyalty. मणिपुरी पोनी, ठीक है, तो वर्ड के साथ ही पोनी इंट्रोड्यूस किया, जैसे बोटिया मणिपुरी दोनों पोनी से। सो दिस इज डेवलप्ड फ्रॉम क्रॉसिंग द मंगोलियन वाइल्ड हॉर्स विथ अरबियन ब्रीड। अरबियन मीन्स जो हॉर्सेस है जो अरबियन कंट्री से इधर माइग्रेट होके उसको ब्रीड किया। अरबियन हॉर्सेस आर नोन फॉर राइडिंग पर्पस, रेस पर्पस, and they are very tall. So they have been crossed with this Mongolian wild horses and they have developed to Manipuri pony. So the height is 13 inches. They are typically bay, chestnut, pinto, or grey. Okay, so it was originally used as a war horses and ridden by Meitei warriors. Meitei group आपने अभी recently भी देखा होगा, तो जो भी है Meiteis and Kukis, Meiteis mostly they are considered as a warriors. They were using this Manipuri pony for the safeguarding their what you can say the area. Okay, and this horse also used mainly for the transport of British soldiers during the World War II, which has happened in that area also. Okay, even till date, so more than 1000 Manipuri ponies are found in this area, and this Manipuri pony is internationally known ponies. Okay, this is mainly used for playing the polo game. ठीक है, आज भी वहां आप देखे जाएंगे तो आपको लोग लोकली भी खेलते हैं, वहां गेम भी होता है हर साल। ठीक है, सो नाउ व्हाट यू सी द पोनी द पोलो गेम, ओके, इट्स जनरली played with 4 members, but earlier it was played with the 7 members. इसलिए मैंने दोनों फोटोग्राफ डाला है। So this British adopted the game from Manipur in 19th century, refining it and renaming it as a polo. It means that polo जो गेम आज मॉडर्न पोलो जो कहते हैं, that has started from this area only, from this horse. Okay, so that's playing Aki on the horseback. Spiti, again it's found in the Spiti region of the Himalaya. This Spiti stands only 9 inches. ठीक है, उससे पहले जो भी था हम लोग बता रहे थे 12 to 14 था, but it's still small. Okay, 9 inches high and are known for their convex faces and short legs. Traditionally used as a pack animal to carry heavy loads, and over 4000 Spiti horses still exist. Their unique 5th gate uses as a lateral. इसलिए आपको थोड़ा समझ में थोड़ा दिक्कत होगा जब when we talk about gates, different types of normal gates, faulty gates, ठीक है, specialized gates जो बोलेंगे, then you may understand little bit of 5th gate which uses laterals instead of diagonal. ठीक है, वो हम बाद में समझा देंगे, but as of now Spiti is very short animal and used as a pack animal. Okay, Zanskari, okay, Zanskari again सब लोग जानते हैं, तो हिमाचल प्रदेश में वो एक एरिया है, रीजन है, उस एरिया में दैट्स फाउंड. ओके, इट वर्क्स वेल इन हाई एल्टीट्यूड एरियाज and it is an endangered species. Its height between 11 to 13 inches. They are typically black, brown, bay, gray, and chestnut. Today, this breed is used for a pleasure riding as well as polo. So, with this, we have covered the breeds which are registered or which have been registered in the NBJRA. Okay, some of the terminologies related to breed. ठीक है, अभी जो भी बात किया breeds, They are all indigenous breeds, okay. But when you come to exotic breeds, जैसे हम मार्स में सर के कैटल में यूज करते हैं, ठीक है, एचएफ, जर्सी, ब्राउन, सिंधी, ठीक है, तो उसी तरह से यहाँ भी कुछ हम लोग वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं रिलेटेड टू exotic breeds, okay. Hard blooded or warm blooded animals means they are of eastern origin or oriented blood, means mostly they are used for the race purpose, okay, mostly used for the race. Cold blooded horses means mostly used as a draft horses, okay. Half bred means when you capitalize this denotes a horse sired by a thoroughbred and registered as a half bred, जिसे हम लोग एचएफ कहते हैं. एचएफ को क्रॉस ब्रेड एचएफ, ठीक है, उसमें भी हो सकता है 50% होगा, 75% हो सकता है, 82.5 हो सकता है, 97% हो सकता है, ठीक है ना. सो मोर टुवर्ड्स प्योरिटी जैसे जैसे जाएगा तो वैसे वैसे एचएफ का ब्रेड इंक्रीज होगा. बट यहाँ क्या है, वन इज thoroughbred which will be discussing in the next slide, ठीक है. आप लोकल ब्रेड में thoroughbred का ब्रेड अगर आप डाल देंगे मींस 50-50, then you will register as a half bred, ठीक है. So we will try to capitalize this thoroughbred blood to a 50% and you will register as a half bred stud, half bred करके उसको बुक में रजिस्टर करते हैं, ठीक है. It indicates the 50% of the blood from the thoroughbred or hot blood animals, okay. Graded horses, जैसे graded मुर्रा कहते हैं, मुर्रा नहीं है but मुर्रा जैसे, means it almost simulates the pure मुर्रा but still it's not मुर्रा. Similarly here also the phrase grade horse refers to horse that are no specific pedigree but it has got almost all the good characteristics, okay. So here when you say grade horse, they are distinct from the mixed breeds in that crossovers are the product for the purposeful breeding between the horse with a documented pedigree. When it comes to versatility, grade horses are no less capable than the any other breed of horse. वही मैं बताया था. मुर्रा मतलब मुर्रा का जो भी परफॉर्मेंस होगा देखने में दिखने में, ठीक है, परफॉर्मेंस सेम रहेगा बट स्टिल देयर इज नो हिस्ट्री ऑफ पेडिग्री. यहाँ भी सेम है, दे आर नो लेसर देन द एनी thoroughbred but still there is no documentation, that's why we call it as a grade horses, okay. Thoroughbred is more important. हम लोग thoroughbred कहते हैं, जितना भी हम लोग रेस हॉर्स यूज करते हैं, they are all thoroughbreds, okay. Basically it's an evolved breed, ठीक है. नेचर में इवोल्यूशन में नहीं हुआ, दिस हैज बीन डेवलप्ड ब्रीड. जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं वृंदावनी, इट्स ए डेवलप्ड ब्रीड, ठीक है. अदरवाइज इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ इवोल्यूशन, okay, with the time when the blood gets stabilized in a local area based on the local climate, एक breed develop होता है, ठीक है. that we call it as indigenous breeds. but यहाँ क्या है, हमको जो जो कैरेक्टर चाहिए उसको मिला के when you try to evolve a breed, then we call it as a developed breed. Similarly, this is a thoroughbred is a developed breed. It refers to any breed of pure bred horse. A thoroughbreds are considered as hot-blooded horses that are known for their agility, speed and spirit. ठीक है. It was developed in 17th to 18th century by British in England and which includes blood कौन सा native mares which are crossed with the imported stallion of Arabian, Barb and Turcoman breeds. Means Sirlen is Arabian, Barb and Turco. So the female is the mare from the British, that's ब्रिटिश पोनी, ठीक है. जैसे हमारे वृंदावनी कहते हैं तो उसमें कितना ब्लड है आपको पता है, 6 ब्रीड्स का, उसका डिफरेंट डिफरेंट क्रॉस ब्रीड से उसको फिर मिक्सअप किए गए. सेम दिस हैज बीन डेवलप्ड इन केस ऑफ हॉर्स व्हिच इज मेनली यूज्ड फॉर द ब्रीडिंग पर्पस. लेटर दिस thoroughbreds spread throughout the world, otherwise it is developed by the British people. Physical character, if you see, the height ranges from 15 to 17. Can you imagine the height? So you could see the height of these thoroughbreds. They measure from 15 to 17. That itself shows how tall they are. And they are available in almost every colors, but the most common colors are bay, dark bay, brown, chestnut, black, or pure gray. Okay. The less common colors recognized in this includes roan and palmino. Okay. Colorful होता है ना, red, blue, सब कुछ combination होता है. It is a roan and palmino. Okay. A good quality thoroughbreds have a well chiseled head on a long neck, high withers, deep chest, short back, good depth of hindquarters, and a lean body and long legs. जितना भी हमने वर्ड यूज किया, जो
इक्वेस्ट्रियन फील्ड में होते हैं तो दे आर एबल टू इमेजिन. ओके, प्रोबेबली फॉर यू आल्सो यू मे नॉट इमेजिन. इफ यू हैव एन आइडिया, इट्स वेरी गुड. लॉन्ग नेक, हाई विदर्स, deep chest, short back, good depth of hindquarters, and a lean body and long legs. So this means altogether it looks very beautiful, lean, tall. Okay. So in modern usage, these thoroughbreds are, or you can say the horse breeders, they consider as incorrect. ठीक है, इसको thoroughbred word use नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि thoroughbred does not indicate anything. It does not indicate anything. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे देखिए thoroughbreds में दो वर्ड्स. इट्स इनकरेक्ट टू रेफर टू एनी एनिमल एज ए thoroughbred except for the horses belonging to the thoroughbred breed. मीन्स आप देखिए एक जनरल वर्ड है thoroughbred एज ए फ्रेज. ठीक है, थरो मतलब सिस्टमेटिकली आपने ब्रीड किया, उसको भी आप thoroughbred कहते हैं. अनदर इज द thoroughbred per se. ठीक है, thoroughbred per se. बट व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग इट thoroughbred per se मीन्स उसका नाम ही thoroughbred है. ठीक है, दिस व्हाट दे वांट टू से ब्रीडर एज ए ब्रीडर. So now among exotic breeds, I'm not going to take all the names, okay, but some of the breeds which are known, जैसे हमारा cattle में भी है, sheep, goat में भी बहुत सारे breeds है, which we have imported only those names only we'll try to remember. Rest all we are not concerned. ठीक है. So similarly जो breeds breeding में use किया गया उसी के बारे में मैं just undulation, Appaloosa, okay, Arabia, Belgian, Sidessedel, Dutch, okay, Frisian, Hackney, Hanoverian, Lipizan. ठीक है, ये सारे जो जो एक दो बार आप पढ़ेंगे तो so probably will get familiar. अगर if you go in detail about thoroughbred evolution, then you will see, you'll try to read all these names. ठीक है, वो नाम आएंगे. But for the sake of exam, we will not be using or you will not be asking all the names, but few names you need to remember which have been highlighted. Okay, the rest all is okay. So now when it comes to donkeys, इससे पहले भी हमने हार्स के बारे में, हार्स ब्रीड्स के बारे में डिस्कस किया, बट इन द शुरुआत में स्कोप ऑफ इक्विन हस्बेंड्री से पहले हम लोग एज ए जनरल बात किया. ठीक है, बट दे आर मोस्टली एप्लीकेबल टू हार्स. बट यहाँ पे कुछ different than the horse only we'll be discussing, okay, about the donkey. So Indian donkeys range from white to gray or black in color. They usually have a dark strip from the mane to tail and a crosswise strip on the shoulders. ठीक है, जो ग्रे डॉन्की है उसमें आपको दिख रहा है, तो इसमें दिख रहा है आपको मेन के पास और लेग के पास. ओके, दे हैव वेरी लॉन्ग ईयर्स. ओके, एंड आल्सो they are dark at the base and tip. लेफ्ट साइड में आपको टिपिकली डॉन्की ग्रे डॉन्की का आपको दिखेगा. द डिफरेंट ब्रीड्स ऑफ डॉन्की वेरी greatly in size and shape, but average donkey stands 40 inches or 102 at the shoulder or wither, whatever it's called. This donkey population mostly found in the Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so you can see that the statistics. The great majority of the donkeys in the world are kept specifically for work. Their most common role is for the transportation, either for the riding or as a pack or for the pulling carts. Some farmers keep the donkeys for the guarding purpose or guarding sheep. Developed countries, they also large rural donkey population with low income groups. These rural people continue to benefit from the donkeys for the local transportation, and this is still long way off in many parts of the Africa. ठीक है, other countries में धीरे धीरे कम होते जा रहा है, but still कुछ कंट्रीज है जैसे अफ्रीका है, एशिया है, टर्की है, इजराइल है, साउथ अफ्रीका, हाँ, दे कंटिन्यू टू बी वन ऑफ द बैकबोन of the many of the rural population. Okay, in India also, in that context, some more industrial mechanization may be responsible for the decrement. Okay, so as a donkey photograph में सेम दिखाया, but this is actually donkey pot, but वहाँ हमने दिखाया था that says a one is दिखाया था. So they are used in the brick kilns, construction site, sale of vegetables, milk transport. Okay, so horse में भी has a milk as a product or produce from the horse. Similarly, donkey का milk का कोई लेना देना नहीं था, but suddenly एक सर्ज आया, एक ट्रेंड आ गया, तो लोग they started selling the donkey milk for the medicinal purpose. Probably आपने सुना नहीं सुना है. but one of the largest donkey private farms is in Andhra Pradesh. कुछ कर्नाटक में भी है, ठीक है. एक को देके दूसरे ने खोल दिया, thinking that 1 liter of donkey will cost 5,000, 6,000, and this donkey milk mainly used for the treatment, ठीक है, which is not scientifically proven, okay, but still they feel that the donkey milk is recommended for the stomach acid or acidity, promoting the growth of intestinal flora, whooping cough, and also treatment of immune-mediated disorders. Any immunocompression is compromise is there, so there this donkey milk also will be helpful. People think that, and people are also ready to purchase. But this is a recent trend. Okay, so among the donkeys, 4 breeds have been registered: Spiti, Alari, Kachi, and Ladakhi. Okay. First one is Alari or large white donkey. Alari or large white, the name itself says it's white in color. It is found in Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, and it's larger in size. Okay, and the average height is 110 centimeters. The population of these donkey is again decreased due to preference of end users is small size donkey. Okay, relatively bigger size. Easily, this is more popular. Small grey donkey. Okay, this type prevails in almost all part of northern India. Smaller in size, okay, then gray in color, dark green color. Average height is 90 centimeter, weight is about 120 kg, and they usually have a dark strip from the mane to tail and a cross strip on the shoulders. Okay. Spiti, अगर आपने शुरुआत पे बूटिया हॉर्स देखा होगा, बूटिया हॉर्स और स्पीति डंकी में ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलरिटी आता है, बट the location are different. Okay, Spiti is found in Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh, but Bhutia is in the Sikkim and Darjeeling hills. Okay, these donkeys are of dark brown to black in color. The height is 80 to 95 centimeter, and ears are long.